What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is actually going to be a double upload today, if this goes to plan. I'm going to try and get this video out tonight. And in this video, I want to talk about the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks. Obviously, I'm a fan. You guys all know that if you're a subscriber. But if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 2,000. We're at about 15... Not 15. I wish 15,000. We're at about 1,500 right now. If you guys want to help me get to 2,000, if you guys want to help support a channel that is trying to grow in this space, be sure to subscribe. But without further ado, I don't want to waste anybody's time. Let's just hop right into why I think the Knicks are a major threat to everybody in the league this season. It's always a good place to start to talk about a superstar like Jalen Brunson, a 1A guy. Jalen Brunson is ridiculous at scoring. It does not take a genius to see that. Jalen Brunson will give you buckets on all three levels. His finesse with the basketball is otherworldly, and he's super strong, especially in his lower body, which allows him to retain his balance at all times. You will notice that Jalen Brunson is always balanced and playing off the 2 feet, which allows him to never telegraph his next move. Man is ridiculous, but there is another man in New York that I think could be an even bigger problem for opposing defenses next season, and that is Karl-Anthony Towns. I am very confident that Karl-Anthony Towns will have a career year next year under Mike Brown. In this past offseason, the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau, who was one of their best coaches in recent memory. He gave the team an identity after they were stuck in limbo for years on end. But the Knicks front office seemed to think it was impossible to make a deep playoff run without the team self-destructing due to the amount of mileage running up and down the floor that was getting put on their players' legs. After firing Tom Thibodeau, the Knicks brought in Mike Brown. Mike Brown is best known for coaching the Light the Beam Sacramento Kings. In the 2022 offseason, the Sacramento Kings brought in Mike Brown to be their next head coach. In the season prior, Alvin Gentry was the team's head coach, in a season where the team won just 30 games. In a year where the Kings missed the playoffs for the 16th consecutive season. When Mike Brown took the head coach spot, the team had expectations of winning no more than 35 games, with the betting line being at just 34.5 games. But they went on to win 48 games in a highly modernized offensive system featuring De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, and a very fun rookie Keegan Murray. The Kings averaged 120.1 points per game as a team that year, which led the entire NBA. But more of a key factor may have been the increase in three-point attempts, as the team went from being 21st in three-point attempts under Alvin Gentry to being 6th in the league in three-point attempts under Mike Brown in the following season. That Kings team went from being a laughingstock for 16 straight years to being a 3 seed in a tough Western Conference and only losing to a Stephen Curry 50-piece and masterclass in Game 7 of their first playoff series in 16 years. What entices me the most about Mike Brown's time in Sacramento is the increase in three-point attempts as a team from the 2022 season under Alvin Gentry to the 2023 season under Mike Brown. And to me, this all circles back to a massive season incoming next year for Karl-Anthony Towns. Last season, Karl-Anthony Towns shot just 4.3 three-pointers per game, a sum to me that seems way too low considering how efficient he is at those deep shots. The man could literally be the best big man shooter that we've ever seen touch a basketball, and he's only shooting 4 three-pointers a game. If Cat could get that total up to at least 8 per game, we're looking at a guy that could potentially lead the Knicks in scoring next season and average upwards of 28 points per game. And I think that under Mike Brown, it's more possible than ever. This Knicks offense could be absolutely revolutionary next season, and I'm super excited to watch it as a Knicks fan myself. But not only did the Knicks bring in a new head coach that could totally boost this offense to a whole new level, they also brought in 2 new guys in free agency that could be big contributors. For starters, the Knicks brought in Jordan Clarkson on the veteran minimum, a guy who averaged 16 points per game last year, shooting 36% from behind the three-point line. For the Knicks, you can probably expect him to play a much more watered-down role. You could probably expect JC to come in off the bench and supply the Knicks with some extra shot creation for 15 to 18 minutes a night. Like I said, a watered-down role, but a role that I think Jordan Clarkson could be very efficient in. And efficiency equals effectiveness. Well, at least in the Jordan Clarkson role. Next, the Knicks signed Guerschon Yabusele, who played for the 76ers last year. They got him on the taxpayer mid-level exception. Actually, just under the taxpayer mid-level exception. Yabusele signed for just under the taxpayer mid-level exception so the Knicks could go out and get one more guy to fill out their roster. Yabusele was a bright spot on a not-so-bright team for the 76ers last year. He's a physical and versatile defender who can stretch the floor very well, which is just what the Knicks need. I haven't even mentioned yet that the Knicks kept all of their core guys like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson. All of those guys are locked in for next season and they're coming in fully healthy. When I look at this roster, it's hard for me to think of this team as anything but a contender. They have their 1A guy, they have their 1B guy, they have their wing defenders, they have their heart. No pun intended. This team is a major threat this year, especially in a wide-open East with a Tatum-less Boston Celtics and a Halliburton-less Pacers. The New York Knicks added depth. They added a new coach. They kept their role guys. They kept their core guys. And that's why I think this team can go insanely far next year. This team proved in last year's playoffs in the second round against the Celtics that they are capable of beating the odds. Nobody expected the Knicks to go in and beat the Boston Celtics last year. I promise you, I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really expect them to beat the Celtics at all. But the way that the team showed resilience, the way that they showed heart, the way that they showed fight throughout that entire series, and especially throughout game 1 and game 2 for those 2 20-point comebacks, that's stuff that was euphoric as a Knicks fan. That's stuff that's euphoric as just a basketball fan. This team has swung for the fences in the last couple of years, and I think that this season of all seasons is the year that it could really pay off. They have a window, and all they need to do is capitalize. That's all they need to do. This team had their mesh year last year. They had their year where they could have their errors, have their slip-ups. But this season, they have opportunity, real opportunity to make a deep run in the playoffs, maybe even make the NBA Finals. All they need to do is capitalize on what they have. And to be honest, if I believe in a team to do it, it's my New York Knicks. I believe that they can do it. I don't know, maybe it's my bias as a fan kicking in, but I am super excited for this upcoming year. Fellow Knicks fans, or just any basketball fans, I want you guys to let me know how you feel about this team. Do you guys think that they can go to the finals? Let me know in the comments. But that's all I gotta say for this video. I appreciate all you guys for watching. There should be a little icon to subscribe right here. My recent video should be up here, and I will see you guys in the next video.